I'm gonna actually scoop that.
We can't get into it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
Thank you.
Why don't you put that on the TV?
I know, that's what I was trying to like. Figure out what.
See that? All right, I'm curious, who in this room wants to leave this room today wanting to go to G?
I'm already there.
Who already belongs to G?
Who in this room is hoping Katie doesn't blow our minds away? It was like, I'm cool, real calm.
You'll find out.
Trying to see which. Out.
For me, it's whether I'm paying for now.
Whatever you.
This,
5 minutes, so you can get set up.
additional what?
I think Aaron said it's 45 Alcar and you're the other part.
So.
45 here.
No, I'm gonna be able to get.
Plus 45.
I might actually. Yeah, and I might just put it right on the screen and that way.
I like
that.
that sounds right.
I think we got
the same one. I
think we
got the same computer. Yeah, so really cool. That's fine. Which I might do for 6 months and just see. Plus if I have carryover.
This is gonna. No. Okay, all right.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Would you be able to get my boxes by doing that?
All right. No, leave this here.
Figure out which one it is.
Not spell that on me.
Which way. Right. And Realcon told me they.
Don't water or anything.
Yeah, I got to approve the transfer if you really don't need, you have to have an action. Oh. Why am I storing this on? I don't even have it how hard I have to. I would say, and I'll probably just give one smart comment. Yeah, every MLS is basically going to do the exact same thing, right? Input a listing, set up client services. Biggest thing is just how the program feels to you, and if you feel it's more intuitive or easy to use on a day-to-day basis, and that's how I feel Flex is. So it's gonna be a little bit different because I'm part of the greater Lansing board, so most of you guys actually have no need to join that board. But that's where your rules, I know like one of you guys had a question about if you get fined, what the fine schedule is, what the rules are as far as like an interior photo, the main photo, that would be up to DMAR or Alvar. Other than landscaping, you can do an interior photo, but they're also very fine heavy. So there's a million fine plates. Anyway, so that's kind of gets different. Has anybody researched Flex or had an opportunity to at least see the platform? I'm thinking most not. So this is what your main screen is going to look like with Flex. And I would say the biggest difference between Realcon and Flex that I've noticed is how you input a listing. I feel like Flex is a little bit easier for that, but again, everybody learns differently. You kind of just start out with how you would search for a property address. So buyer one comes to you, they want to take a peek at this vacant land. You would just type in the property address up here. And let's see what's going on here. So all the searches come up here, and then this is how you're going to view it. So, your MLS print tickets are gonna look a little different as well. So that was the biggest thing, was just finding, okay, where's the acreage at, where's the price at? But the search is extremely easy. Let's type in like a basement address here. The same thing here. I know one of the questions was, where do we find out tax information? So right at the top here, you're going to see the realist tax info. And just click that, and then Flex is going to direct you right over to the tax info. When it wants to load, there we go. You've got owner's information, taxpayer's address, you'll be able to pull up any sort of parcel information, assessments that you might need to take a peek at when you're going on a purchase agreement. Which I think Realcom, it looks pretty similar for this, right? And then your documents. So I know in Realcom, a lot of these were cut leaves, I think, are underneath the photo, right? The main photo. So really, you're just gonna be looking at this top handlebar here. So you're gonna see report. You'll be able to pull history on the property, tax information underneath it, and then the documents, and those are just going to pull up right here. And you'll be able to view the disclosures.
So when you type in Mason at the top, is that just pulling up your listings or?
So that's pulling up anything in Mason. So this could be like, if you wanted to just do a quick search and just type in new search residential city of Mason, it would then pop up with all of the Mason searches. So this is just more so like a client sent you an address, or you were, driving by and wanted a specific property, then you'd be able to type that in here. Now, if you wanted to do a search for a client, and I guess look for the buttons too. So you'll also be able to have access to your showing time, your calculator and stuff like that as well. I believe you can also, I want to say you're also able to pull properties with your short links here. Okay, so you get a client, visit a buyer consult, and they are looking for a house in Mason, let's say. You are able to do your property search here. So you would just go into quick search, status would be active, current price, let's say they want a house under 300,000, property subtype, they only want a single family home, and they want at least 2 bedrooms. So very similar as far as the client tracker for Realcom. And then you would come over here and you can hit save. School district, 7 listings. So then you would hit save search. And so this is a new client, so we'll type in new client, the contact is new. Type in their email. And then this is where you would select if you want to set up a portal for them. So if this was a one-time search, you just hit no, and it would send them all of the listings. If you wanted it to be a search, then you would invite them to the portal. And I've had clients, when I first moved over to Flex, like 2 years ago, I would set up both Flex and then both Realcom, and I would say clients were more, they were happier with Flex. It was a little bit more user friendly for them. You would say save and add subscription. Let's see. And this is because
You're not forced to look at all of
no.
You're late, yours, and that's not.
Only Realcom, maybe once a month. It's not very often. The only time I use Realcom is if I have a listing down in Fowlerville or Brighton or something like that, or even back counties. But no, there's no property alerts and all of those little things you have to skip through every single time. Which is probably why you guys are on here today, right?
So moving forward with Flex for you, when Flex is available on this side, you're not gonna have to put your listings in Realcom anymore.
I don't think so, and that's what I was gonna chat with you about too, is that, so I've got my primary membership was Lansing, which is why I have been using Flex in recent years, but then I also have a secondary with Elcard. Because they say that Real Comp and, you know, Flex cooperate, but not quite so much, right? So I would just keep that primary so I can put in the listings there, but maybe it's gonna get better now that, you know, Flex is moving this way, so where I personally would drop Real Comp, so. Okay, so let's get back, so we're gonna save the search, I'm probably just gonna need a random email from one of you guys since.
If you wouldn't mind.
Dominic, yeah, you have something wrong.
INICK.
Okay. Then we just hit save and add subscription. So that saves the client in your database. You'll be able to go into contact management and change any of their information in there. And this is where it shows, okay, do we want to send reports weekly? Do we want to do monthly? Do we want to base that? What days do we want to send? And then you also have templates here to say, hey, this is your new tracker. We just are able to, this is a big thing. And I'm not super familiar with the app, but with Flex, your client is able to download the Flex for Buyer app, and then we'll get a text notification when you properly list. So they don't have to get in their email and whatnot, which again, it's those little things that, so you'll be able to set that up.
Do you see notifications that they don't yet?
Yeah, you can set that up. So, you would be able to, like, for example, one of the settings in there is if you wanted to get an email when a new property listed. So I don't know if there's a setting for them, you would be notified when they opened it, but you would get notified if it's as well. So, yeah, that's a good question. Let's see. Okay, so contact management, we wanted to run in there and they said, oh, can you add in my husband on that search? So then you can go in, here's all of your clients, you can tell which portals are on, which portals are off, their email, the listings that are in there, and then the last match. And then you can also see their activity. So you're able to kind of check in and say, hey, we see that listing in there.
So for husband and wife, you're doing, you don't have to put in 2 emails under one contact, you put 2 contacts.
Exactly. So I know like on Real Comp search, right, you can semicolon and add a separate address. This one, you are almost, it's like, where you would set up 2 different people and then you might have just one. Yeah. It's nice. Any questions on the market tracker? One of the things too, is they've got the whole slew of different things. So if your clients are sort of fireplace, or you're looking for, you know, garage with this and that. So I always see your clients away from making it too specific, right? You'd rather have them see more stuff than necessary. But if you have a particular client, it's like, I don't want to see anything in my inbox and nothing. That's why I can see, you know, they've got a lot of it.
We have the concierge mode where you can do it first before sending it over.
That's a good question. I will write that down and see,
Yeah, I gotcha.
okay, perfect. Kind of your mode. So, yeah, any specific questions that, I don't know? One of the things yeah, they've got great tutorials online. So, I'll be able to just send over anything I'm sending, the office, just a couple different tutorial links. You guys can look at it, on your own as well.
So,
Our little
Good.
option. Yeah,
I got your email.
Okay.
for the Paragraph of search,
Yeah.
And I downloaded the Flex app.
yeah.
Are these your active listings that are on the bottom of it?
So it might be, let me double check. I think that yes, exactly. So on the bottom of this app will be all of my listings. And then they can use that same app to where they're driving down the street and they say, oh my gosh, this property looks great. They can type in the address and then they can send it over to me. So it's their, it's the one-stop shop where they're getting notified from the property tracker, but then they're also able to see the search platform out there. So you don't have to Zillow, they don't have to do it, and next thing you know, they already bought a house. And there.
how does that extra that 7 days? Yeah, so how does it show, you know? Okay. Okay. Maybe some investments for technology in real time, they have said you know on a bus before you can see it. I think you can put that right here. That on your, so here you're showing the service, in your mobile, every time you just go with it. It's a wide in your. Yeah. But, that's another reason why well, that's my third comment. I don't, that's your style, so. No, not at all, but okay, so, it's so much easier to see your, your, I'm out to find it. So, you know, on my phone for real, I do just that word, like I won't, right? They thought I don't want to like do a search on the fly. I always search for school district as opposed to the city, because the city, you know, would one at a time, you know, school district. You want really, and I just. So many people that I mean, there are other things that you know, people think that like now you got to be able to choose all the people have it.
Sweet.
No, I'm like seeing if it's like clear enough. It's like I like logged in here too.
Very similar to your
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's like clear enough. I have a like this is making the audio for me.
Very, very fast. Let's see here. I don't see all of this. Yes, that's a great question. So you can go into, let me see here. So I think usually, yeah, yeah, so you can look at it like this. And yeah, these are 56 properties because these are including sold, but you're able to look at it like that. You go here, you don't want any photos. Vice versa. You can go in here and say, okay, you know what, I forgot, I'm gonna do only residential. You don't have to start your search over again. Good question. So this is where, so you got residential. If you wanted to do vacant land, you come up here and you just toggle over to vacant land. You would have to start your search over again. Yeah. And then your commercial, rental, and then multifamily.
You get a lot of these like
Yeah, yeah, so you got counties.
Overlays, we've got elementary schools, we can even do flood zones. Flood zones is another good one.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Zoning, zip codes, middle schools, high schools, so. Yeah.
Can you do driving distance?
So that's, I know that was one thing, I don't think you can do driving distance, I'll usually just do the miles. So if I, they say, okay, this is where you work, then I'll do radius search and say, okay, you want a 5-minute drive to work, we're gonna do probably 3 miles out, something like that. Yeah, at least not that I have found, so it could be hidden in there.
Do you have a stats tab?
Let's see. Okay.
Graph.
There is stats right there, stats to the right above the map.
Because only Bill's can use this section.
I was like, I think it's gonna be a learning. When I saw some of your questions, I was like, oh geez, I don't even know some of these things. Yep, so listings by status, you're able to see active, pending, sold, average, median, all of that fun stuff. And that's within your radius. Yep, exactly. Any questions on search? I was gonna move into maybe adding a listing so you can kind of see what that looks like. Things look good.
So can you just click on the pictures and look at the pictures like normal, like just click on it and arrow?
Yes, yep, so let's get to, let's see.
Schedule your showing.
Yes, so that will
Showing
be,
time.
I know, I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
showing time, same thing, yep. So you would just
Oh,
head
there
over
it is.
here,
Okay.
yep, showing time, and then you can also add it to a showing cart, if you guys
Yeah.
realize that, which is really nice. So same things, yep, so you can click on this photo and then it pops up and you can search the photos. Yeah. And then, lot acres, school district, really the biggest thing that was different was, figuring out the program, but looking at the MLS tickets, right? So different things in different areas, but you'll pick up on it pretty quickly.
Well, there's no bubbles and different colors and.
I think it's cleaner. It's like you've got all of your information here. And then if you need additional information, it's all up at the top here. It's not like, where am I looking, like underneath the photo and stuff like that. So, okay. So adding a listing is gonna look a little different depending on if it has already been listed before. So there's 2 different ways you can add a listing. You can add a listing here. Let's see, so we'll go through that. So add a listing, let's say it's residential. You're going to type in the address. This is another thing, is I'm not a fan of Remind, the new thing where you've got to go into Remind and there's a million different. I had to call Kirsten like 80 times with my first Remind listing. I'm like, how do you do this? So, and then you're going to populate the tax listing. Oops, I gotta get into the county. So all you do is type in the address, and then it's going to pull all of the information, which is similar to Remind, but it's going to pull the parcel ID number. It's going to pull your taxes. It's going to locate the property.
You have public records through.
Yes, yeah, which is really nice. Yeah, you can.
Is it wrong? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna continue adding the listing. And this is where the listing date is. So let's say we want to list the property tomorrow. Expiration date. Say it's a year out. Property price, say it's 200. Then you'll go through, you'll add in the school district, key, and again, I'm assuming that the listing input is going to be the same between GLAR, which I have up in Lansing, and GMAR. But usually for a code or for a key, they're just asking what type of lockbox is on there. So is it gonna be a code, a box, a combination? Township and tax authority, so I live in Meridian Township. This is just association information if it was part of an HOA. Owner name, occupancy, so we would say, let's say immediate, you can type in, that's another thing, is you have free reign to type in anything, so it's not boxes that you have to check. Subdivision, either it's in a subdivision or it's in none. It's going to pull the legal, and then you type in the directions.
GPS.
I know, that's it, yeah. I just type in the address again, yeah.
Property subtype, single family residence, reserved items is going to be a yes or no.
What's that?
So reserved items, so if you're reserving, yeah, the washer and dryer, you know, stuff like that. So anything across the board, if there's something reserved, you'll type that in there. Year built, the square footage, so typically it will pull the square footage from public records.
Right.
And then same thing with the basement, you are going to have to fill in the differences. So if it's a colonial, you'll say, okay, I need to know what it is on the top, what it is on the main floor. So you'll type in all of that. Living area source, I usually type in public records where I get it, or you can even put in here, I think there was another, maybe not with this one. You could even put in like previous listing. So rooms total, I don't think that Real Comp had that, it's not really a feature, but that question. So you need to know the bedroom count, but then you also need to know the room count. So that's,
pulls that for you.
yeah, like kitchen would be a room, bathroom would be a room, all of that stuff. So usually that's not going to be pulled from public records just because you'll have to sit there and kind of, okay, living room is one room, all of that stuff.
Does it give you the option to enter dimensions for each room?
Yes, yep, that is over in the rooms tab, and I feel like that's a lot easier too in this one. Once we pop over there, I'll let you know.
It's just.
Let's see here. So tax information, it pulls all of the tax information. The only thing that you have to pop in is residential for the zoning. Sub-agency fee and buyer agency fee, they are going to require that you put in something for a sub-agency fee. So, you know, typically buyers, you're going to be doing the 3%, and then sub-agency, you know, the 3% as well, or whatever you decide. So agent to agent remarks and then public remarks. So agent to agent remarks, you understand what that is. You're popping that in. Public remarks. So you've got, let's see, 800 characters available in this field. If you need more, you hit more, and then that's when it's going to offer you an additional 10,000 words. So usually what I'll do is I'll type up my description in Google, I'll copy and paste it, whatever doesn't make it into the initial box, I'll just crop it and throw it in the more. And then you will take your public remarks and copy and paste that into your marketing remarks as well, because your marketing remarks are the ones that's going to also make it to Zillow and whatnot. We'll
That's
hit.
different than,
Yeah. so-
Yeah, I know. And it's, and you have to make sure, so if you update one, update the other.
And there's not like a button like. okay.
Right.
There's not, at least that's how I input them. Yeah. Okay. So detail, you'll be typing in the bathroom count. So you'll have to do half bath, full bath. And this has to be a 0 in everything. So if there's no third floor, you still have to put in 0. If there's no half bath on the third floor, you still have to put in 0. You'll fill all of that out. So special listing conditions, if this was a HUD property or bank owned, this is where you place that in. Let's see, appliances, same thing with Real Comp, you know, you'll be typing in what appliances are included. Laundry features. Lot, I mean, they even have like a laundry chute. They've got a million different options. Lot features, so you've got private, rolling scope, slope, few trees, cul-de-sac, lots of options.
I like that it's like DocuSign, where you just go
It's
from one
everything.
tab to the next.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you're not working down. Yeah, exactly. Other equipment, so you've got livestock equipment, orchard equipment, fuel tanks, home theater, generator, intercom, satellite dish, exterior features, same thing with that. So you've got a lot of things that are all just nicely laid out.
so about pool, like, can you say, show
Yes.
me homes with pools that are not?
That's a good question. Yeah, we'll have to, there's a pool option. I don't know if there's a community pool option. When I go back in to do a search, I can like type in pool and see if there's options. Yeah. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Yes, oh yeah.
So right now with Remind, I can open up, I can create a transaction.
Yeah.
Add in my input form, fill out my form.
Yeah.
Like as if I'm doing a PDF. I fill that out and I just hit upload, and it puts it right into my edit and auto fills
Okay.
everything. Do we have that feature here, or do you have to go through
That's,
each of those tabs?
so we don't use Remind for any sort of, at least in GLAR, filling out paperwork. So we use Transaction Desk, at least up in GLAR. So it would be Transaction Desk. And then when I go into Transaction Desk, yeah, I'll hit and see if it goes in. I'll fill it all out and send it to my clients. And then once I get signatures, and it could be the long way of doing things, and then I just go in here and just kind of pop in the stuff. But that's a good question.
Well, I know
that could save-
transaction desk, we had that.
Yes, yeah.
The automatic upload.
If it goes through everything. Yeah, we'll take a peek at that, and if so, thank you, because that will save me a lot of time.
Yeah.
Flooring, basement, foundation details, exterior, parking features. You can even type in how many garage spaces or carport spaces there are.
Checking that drop down.
Fencing, interior features. I mean, there's just a million things. You've got sound systems, vaulted ceilings, solar panels, stone counters, tile counters, fireplace features, electric. I know that's big for people. Pool features. So here's the pool questions. We've got above ground, we've got community. So if there's a community tab here, you should be able to run a property search for community. Waterfall, solar heat, screen enclosure, all of that stuff. Spa features, water source, sewer source, utilities, patio and porch features. So you can even do wraparound porch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If it's
heating.
other, do you type in, or do they want you to type in?
So the only ones that are required are the ones in red. So for example, they need to know water source and sewer, but the rest of this stuff is just, it's not mandatory. I just try to fill it out, obviously, for your client to get as descriptive as possible. But for example, if there wasn't a pool, I wouldn't go through there and type in none. I would just leave it there. Cooling, road features. This is really nice. So especially, I mean, I guess more so too out here in Howell and Fowlerville areas, but a lot of people are like, I don't want to live on a dirt road. So you'll have all of these different options of county road, freeway. You'll be able to type in if it's paved or not. Window features, roof, what type of roof they had. Here's that road surface type. So alley, paved, chip and seal, dirt, paved. Improvements, so you can say, okay, we've got a hot tub in here. We've got a formal dining room, a Four Seasons room. Security features, land and acreage. This is one thing that's a little bit different than Real Comp is that you will type in, well, it'll pull from public records what the exact acreage is, but then you'll also have to type in here, is it a half acre to an acre? Is it 1 plus to 2? Is it 2 plus to 5? So that's another thing that you're required to fill out. We've got view, waterfront features, frontage type, association amenities, community features, accessibility features, green, all of this stuff, and then other structures, which is really nice. So this is where you can type in, you've got your dog run, you've got your barns, you've got your pole barn, architectural style, got a little bit of everything there. Levels, so this is again where these things are mandatory, so you'll type in what levels they are, 1, 2, 3 or more. We've got a multi-split, 1.5, 2.5, got all of the terms, and then showing requirements. So you can say, this is also really nice too, you can say like pet on premises, you can say lockbox, combination lockbox, text the realtor, call the realtor, the different showing days that you're requiring, so that's really nice too. I mean, typically in agent notes, you'll write in, no showings on Tuesday, that kind of thing, but you can also pop it in here, so it's right in the listing ticket.
So do you fill out, to configure showing time still? Or
Yes, yep, exactly. You'll still configure showing time, and I can show you in one of my current listings how you would go in. So once you input a listing, then you'll be able to go in and edit your listing, and then that's when you can set up showing time. So it has to almost get into the system first, and then it will allow you to set up showing time. And then you're also able to say, okay, yep, I've got the sellers and lead-based paint, exclusions. Let's say we're doing washer and dryer. And then your room measurements, good question, this one. So you're able to type in as many rooms as possible. So you'll just do living room, it's on the first floor, 12 by 12. We've got, let's see, beamed ceilings, we've got bookcases, we've got, let's see, a chandelier, remarks. you know, this is usually where I type in buyer's agent to verify all information, but you can also put in here like carpet, you know, and stuff like that.
So it doesn't ask for flooring type.
It does not, nope, does not, they actually just dropped that a couple months ago. Yep, does not ask for flooring type. Yeah, and then you're,
Appreciate that, actually.
I know, yeah, because sometimes I'm like, is it LVT, is it,
Yeah.
what is it? It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't
See the
matter.
Pictures.
Yeah, right, exactly, go through all the photos. So photo file, so this is where you would type in your main property photo. So you can, if you've got a zip file, you'll just go and you can just drag and drop. So you just take your first photo, drag and drop, and your description, I usually just type in main photo. And then typically what I will do is save incomplete listing. And it will save. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I never just input everything and then hit submit. I want to check it over 80 times beforehand just to make sure we're all good to go. So this is where you can go in and edit any sort of the listing information. So let's say you're just prepping everything. You've got to, you know, you're planning on listing it in a couple days, just want to get a head start. You're able to do that and go in and change anything that you've done in here. And then you can also add in your additional photos. So you can add in one main photo in the beginning, and then this is where you would drag and drop all of the other photos in your album. So you can just drag everything and it just drops right in there. You can, let me see if I've got, that's one of my listings here. So you just drag and drop. You, at least for Lansing board, you can do an interior photo as the main. It just depends on what Gmore wants to do. And so you see this little flag here. This means that it's the main photo. So this is your public primary photo. You wanted to change it. They also did it. Lansing board used to be, once your photo was there, you cannot change it. You have to remove the listing if you want to change your photo. And that was a little crazy because what happens if the listing's been sitting a bit and you know, have a wintertime photo and then you want to get a spring photo, it was kind of a pain. So now they've changed it where all you have to do is you just click that little flag and then boom, now you've got a new primary photo. So once your photos are uploaded, then you're able to do your video and virtual tours. You're able to upload your documents. I feel like the document upload is so much better than Real Comp. So all you do is you just drag and drop your photos or your documents. So that's it. Yeah. So let me see if I've got, it's so easy, I'm telling you. So pretend that this is a document. You just, oh, hang on. You go into add document and then you say this is a lead-based paint. You just drag it in. Oops. Sorry, you have to drag it onto the choose file. And then you say, this is my seller's disclosure. And you decide if you want it public or if you want all realtors or you want broker and MLS staff. So
public can see that?
Public can see in their app. So if your clients are the type of people that say, show me the seller's disclosures before you get out there, you know, obviously most of the time you hand them something, but if they want to see things before you even get to the property, it will be in their app. So they'll just be able to hit the documents and see all of the disclosures. Now, GLAR at least requires you to upload the listing contract. So if I were to come over here and say, this is my listing contract, it would automatically say it's only viewed by the MLS staff. So it kind of just, it knows what you're uploading by your selection and it will automatically say it's public, it's not public, etc. And you just hit save. And it's in your thing.
So I will just, so I don't have to add so many documents. I do like my agency disclosure, blood-based paint, solar disclosure,
Yeah.
all that like in one file. Can you do that?
Yep, so so if you want to just upload in one file. So typically, I'll see a lot of realtors do that too in Flex. They'll just select seller's disclosures and then they'll upload the seller's disclosures, the lead-based paint and the affiliated business, and it'll just be in one file. So they don't require, at least with GLAR, they don't require things to be split. It's just got to be in there. Otherwise, it's $1,000 fine. So,
How long do you
Yeah.
have to upload the seller's disclosures?
It's like Laura.
Once you go live.
Yes, I was telling, I don't know if I told you, they got $500,000 in fines last year, just in fines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're very, very strict. So that would be up to that, the timeline.
So yeah,
to
some
upload
of, you guys have to
things.
realize, like, she's giving you a sneak peek of the system. You
Yeah.
guys are gonna be in a different board, most of you, so what those legal requirements are, she's not gonna know that part.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to contact GMAR, how many people have been on GMAR's website? It's pretty robust. So they actually have a lot of documents in there, and that board is staffed on a regular basis. So if you want to jot down questions and contact them, that would probably be the best bet as far as like any legal, any timeline items, things like that. If you are curious about like what system's gonna link, is it transaction desk? Is it, what is that? That would be direct to GMAR. Also they have a breakdown of like, yeah, just all their dues. And then on their website, on their calendar, in November and December, they have all trainings already in there for virtual for the Flex MLS. So if you guys are like, hey, when am I supposed to learn about this? They actually have tons in there, and then they have specific ones for admins and assistants. So if you do have admin, you do have TC people, they have separate ones. And so although their, you know, main hub is in Southfield, majority of their stuff is virtual. So just so you guys know, you know, when you're kind of deciding, I would say spend these next few days looking at that website, coming up with any questions, and then you guys contacting GMAR and making that decision.
Yeah, it's a great time of year too to switch things over. Just, you know, the last thing you want to do is make this decision in spring market when you're, you know, already a little bit stressed out, and then you're trying to figure out how do I get this new listing in and stuff like that. So yeah, making that decision while you've got the holidays and some time to kind of think about it. And then once this listing goes live, then that's where you are given the opportunity to say, okay, I want to set up showing time. So there would be a button that populates here once it's live. You'd hit showing time, and then that's when it's going to carry in all of the information, and it'll be the exact same thing with RealComp of like you just type in your lockbox code, where the lockbox is at, it will look the exact same. So if I wanted to, so this is over an incomplete listing. So this menu, excuse me, will be the big hub for you, because you'll have, you know, your kind of your cheat sheet links up here, but then you're also going to have your menu. You'll be able to select add listing, change listing, my incomplete. So if you've got a listing that is kind of on pause right now during your upload process, that's where you can come in here and hit edit and then finish your listing. And then once your listing is ready to go live, you'll hit add listing, and it will prompt you if you're missing anything, just like with the Remind program.
Does it automatically save everything?
It does, yes. Yep, it automatically saves everything. It will show like up at the top here, if I were to make any changes, it would say, you know, last saved at 12:47, that kind of thing. But, you know, as a general rule, you'll just hit save and complete listing and go out to what you're doing. Any questions? Yes, yep, so menu button is here. And you can see the star links is what shows up. Let's see here. Like, for example, I've got add listing here. So add listing is here. CMA is starred here. So CMA is starred here.
Oh.
Contact management. So you can, yeah, kind of
But you can change
personalize.
those.
You can personalize your quick links, which is nice. Yep. Let's see, we've got open houses here. We've got market areas, your messages between clients, member lookup if you needed to, for whatever reason, look up somebody's information, your profile. Here's where you can do all of the stats. So market summary, market trends graph, market trends report. You even come in here and say, okay, my listings, office listings, subscriptions, reverse prospecting. So when you're got a new listing, you need to set that up. So a lot of different
Katie,
things
every
there.
day when I come in, I look at what's new, what's pending, what's price reduced in Livingston County tonight. Is there that screen?
So that is, so I know on RealComp, right, it says it right on the main hub. Let's see here.
So you're probably gonna go in and do your market summary, because you can kind of set that up how you want it to look. Let's see, so you can customize your market summary, so you can go in there and kind of select, what you want to see expired or whatever your things are. Number of listings, listing prices, so lots of different things here. And again, you can customize it, but let me get to the main hub here. You can customize this as well. Clearly I haven't, but if you just click Flex MLS, you'll be able to say, okay, a new search, you want to get going with that, your hot sheet, and then your clients down here. So you can go into customize and you can change your layout. You can add different things. You can add gadgets. So you can add where all of my listings are being shown. I can display different types of listings, and you can even do saved searches as well. So if you wanted to do a saved search and put that on your home screen, and then a statistics button too. So you could say inventory or volume or prices, absorption rate, all of that fun stuff.
Oh, Bill, you're gonna have so much fun.
So yeah,
We won't need the market update anymore. You just
yeah.
click that button.
So you think of all the times that you wouldn't have seen it, actually just added in all of that stuff. All the time that you're gonna save, not doing like, yes, I've read, yes, I've read, yes, I've read. You can do all of this stuff.
Skip.
Yeah, skip.
What about
Yeah.
admin access?
So with that might be a GMAR question, because I know with GLAR, nobody can have your passwords. Otherwise it's $1,000 fine. So that's their motto. When you walk in the door, it's $1,000 fine. So that would be a question for GMAR. If you can have secondary accounts, if you can use your main hub's account, that kind of stuff.
They will have admin accounts. I just wasn't sure if there's a fee or,
Usually.
you don't know.
Yeah, $1,000 fine. That's, yeah.
$1,000 fee.
Showing time, you've got a showing time link right here. I think the gist of this is that 99% of what I said in the beginning, every MLS can basically do the same thing. It's just, how do you want your experience to look, right? So it's just more user friendly, it's more intuitive, you can customize things a lot more. The listing input makes so much more sense over Remind. That's a tricky one. Everything that you need is just in Flex, and I think the app is so much more user friendly too, and provides your clients with a lot of resources as well, right? Your listings are in the bottom, they can run a search, they can look at the disclosures. So when you've got a busy day and maybe they've got some questions, they can be a little bit independent and look at the disclosures, and then you can follow up with things that evening. So it's really nice, and it helps all parties.
What about a quick CMA?
Yes. So CMA, so you can see all of mine are here, and then they do save with
Why
drafts.
are you only doing so little?
I know, yeah, why are you working so hard? Yeah. So CMA, so you can go in here and hit new, and you know what, you can also set up a CMA when you're doing your comp. So like typically what I'll do is I'll pull comps first, and then when you are pulling comps, you've got a button that says CMA, and then you can use those that you found. So let's just say you wanted to do a new CMA. Residential, you can type in the stats average. So usually I'll just say like total livable area, right? So this is kind of at least everybody pulls comps differently. Mine is square footage, like that's the biggest thing, right? And then you start adding things outside of that. So you'll say the title is CMA for, let's say, former client Janine, as of today. You type in little comments, they're not gonna see that. You'll be able to go and type in the address. You'll be able to put a photo here. And then it's been so long since I've done a CMA with real comp, but so you can set up how you want your template to look. So one of my templates is square footage, total livable area, bedrooms, full bath, half bath, year built, and lot acres, right? So this is also looking at, I'm in Eno County, so a lot of my stuff is on acreage. Do you do acreage? Are you more so things with pools? Do you have outbuildings? Yeah, so you can add in what you want in your template based on what 99% of what your clients are offering.
Like that's stuff that you can adjust or will adjust. you're saying?
Exactly. Yep, you've got templates. You can adjust it at any point in time. And then here is where we'll do your mapping. So you can pull comps straight through here, so you can set up the CMA how I just did, and then you can pull your comps here, or you can pull comps and then transfer those into your CMA. So a couple different options. So for example, mapping. So let's say I want to do 1 mile from my property address. We want it to be residential, and we want to pull from Greater Lansing. We can hit find comps, and it will go straight into here with the radius. Or it should at least with the radius. So with no radius, but you can still type in active, current price. So this is where you're still able to go through, similar to what I showed you in the beginning, and of saying, okay, we want to focus in on homes, you know, between 100 and 300, subtype, residential. If you need to add any additional fields, this is where, look at how many fields there are. Million different things.
On the previous screen at the top, it's like MLS comparables and non-MLS comparables. So that allowing to compare systems, or what was that?
So non-MLS is able to, so one of the things that I hope GMAR might be a little bit better with, so GLAR Lansing is notorious for not communicating with other MLSs very well. So I think that's what they're saying is, so some of them, for example, like one listing is unmapped. So there's certain MLSs that GLAR or Flex do not communicate well with. So they're saying, we notice that there's a sale, but we just don't have any information on it because it's not transferring with us. Which hopefully GMAR will be better than GLAR. So it's not a program thing, it's just it's like a board thing.
When you add an additional field there,
Yes.
Can it always be there, or do you have to add it every time?
That's a good question. Change search template, let's see.
Yeah, probably like in your preferences.
Yeah, there might be a preferences option, yeah, just saying, you know, if you don't usually work with condos or something like that, you can just go in and click everything.
And can you do like a search that's Livingston County, but they do not want private schools?
Yeah, so you can do, if we go in, let's see. So we can do county. So we can do county, let's say,
Right.
and then school district, we can hit, oh, let's see. So I know that is one thing that Real Comp has, is that you can hit not, which I feel like sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't. In this case,
Like you can pick Howell instead of Brighton,
yeah,
and
you
just
would
leave
pick
Brighton blank.
Howell, Fowlerville, right, you would pick those and then you would just not select Brighton.
So you just select all and then eliminate them.
Yeah, exactly, yep.
It's like you can't search, like do your search and do not water.
Like everything but, right, exactly, yeah, so that's one thing that I know you guys have, but right, it would be, they're not working like backwards of like everything but this, yeah. Okay, so,
Demerit.
yeah, exactly, not changing. Okay, so then we're able to get detail, let's see. So let's say, here's all of the searches, right, and we found these top 3 to be the best comparables. We're going to return listings to CMA. There they are. We'll hit next. And then this is where you are able to either auto adjust your comparables, or you're working with more of a unique property, then you can just do specific adjustments. So for example, let's say in your market area, when you're doing a CMA, you are going to adjust comps for every bathroom is $10,000, right? So if you've got auto adjust comparables set up, which you have the option to set this up and to change it. Oh, this is saying, yeah, so let's see, we're gonna go back to subject because I don't have anything in here. So like 1,200 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. We're on 0.25 of an acre, built in 1955. Okay, so pretend that was done. We're going to go into adjustments. You have your CMA or your comps here. We'll hit auto adjust comparables. and then these adjustments immediately come up. So let's say on average, you do $100 per square foot difference between comps, or you add in $5,000 additional for a bath. You can type in all of those differences and it will calculate, okay, against this 1,200 square foot house and this 1,400 square foot house, this is the difference between your comparables. And then you can go in and adjust, right? Maybe that's your standard client, but now you're working on a $500,000 property, and so you're not going to give a $5,000 bathroom adjustment. You know, you're gonna bump that up. So you can go in and adjust things. You can hit new adjustment. You can type it in and say, hey, this one's got an additional garage, so we're gonna put in 5,000 there. You can put in comments that they can see. So let's say, like, I know I've got clients, a lot of people will have Generac systems, and they'll say, we spent $15,000 on the Generac system, and it's more so just telling a client of, like, it's a buyer preference and it's a great thing, but I can't put $15,000 on your CMA for your Generac or something like that, right? And so we'll just type in, yep, I remembered your Generac, you got a credit for this, and this is what's going to make the client more apt to give full listing price, or whatever, that kind of stuff. And then you're able to kind of talk about the differences too. I think this is a really good comment section to talk about. Hey, this has an attached garage, yours has a detached garage, or your kitchen had the quartz countertops, this is laminate, and you can kind of go through those experiences with the client. Then we've got the summary, so you can say, okay, days on market, right? These are active properties, but you can talk about in your comment section too of, like, hey, this client started out at 309 and it sat for 60 days and it sold for 279. So that's not the experience that we want to provide. So keep that in mind, different things that you can talk to them about, because it's going to pull that for you. And then it's going to talk about the recommendations. So you've got your low, you've got your high, your recommended will be the average between those. And then you can sit there and say, okay, is this actually my recommendation, or is the market up now, or is the market down? And we can put in your recommendation. So let's say my recommendation is 200. So this is where you have the opportunity, which I think Real Comp has the same, where you can make your CMA personalized to you. And then we've got an option. So we can view it, we can download it, we can save it, or we can email it directly to them. So if we view it here, if I would have uploaded a photo of the house, it would come up here. We've got the CMA, we've got all of my information here. The subject property will be here. And then it's going to have the photos and all of the differences as far as square footage. We've got low, median, and then it goes into the listing ticket of every property. And you can also set up your searches or your CMA to also have all of the photos of each comparable. So in this case, right, you probably want to have, when you're doing a CMA, you'll have the listing ticket here, but then you also want them to be able to flip through and see how is this a comparable for my property, so you're able to show them, hey, this kitchen is custom, yours is not, etc. Yep, and then download, save, email. So you can just email it right over to them. You can give them a link. I don't know. So one of the things that, and you guys can correct me on, that really doesn't have, well, let's finish up the CMA. Any other questions with the CMA? No? Okay. So one of the things that I like is if you want to send a client, and I don't know if you guys have this feature, you might, but if you want to share things, you can share it directly to Facebook. So your link will, so you can share it directly to your Facebook and say, hey, this is X, Y, and Z, and then they can click on it. And when they click on it, it's only going to show your contact information. You can email it, you can text it to your client, you can tweet it to your client, you can send a link, right? This is usually what I do. Send a link, type it into Facebook, or you can send it over to a client and say, hey, did you see this one? And it will go right into their app that they already downloaded. So everything's just integrated really nicely between phone, computer, all of that stuff.
It's really cool. Sounds like it's in the 21st century.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like crazy.
So on gmaronline.com, it says that we have negotiated with 3 vendors, so you can choose which option works best for you in your brokerage, transaction desk, Authentisign, zip forms, or .lu. So how that integrates, I'm not sure, but there is an FAQ section talking about you can share things with your social media, and it kind of goes through frequently asked questions. So again, even on GMAR's website, you can click search and click Flex MLS and it'll pull up with all of their news articles as far as so you guys are able to dive into what does this look like? How do I switch? And then I do just want to say real quick too, there are 2 different memberships within GMAR. One is a member max membership, which includes like your Con Ed additional education. So you could get your military relocation professional certification for free. You can take that class for free. You can get your buyers or seller specialist classes for free if you have that certain member max benefit. So just make sure when you guys are deciding that you're doing your due diligence and researching all of those options of what memberships provide, as there are different ones within that.
Yes.
MLS board.
Perfect. And also, I mean, I don't know because everybody's gonna be switching and learning and all of that stuff, but definitely take your time and read everything before you're inputting listings, because that's where you're most likely to get fined, at least with our stuff. So just make sure that you know what you're doing before you just put up the listing. I know, again, I already said to the crowd, I had to text Kirsten 80 times on my first real comp thing when Remind changed, because I was like, you know, how do you do this? So, but we can all, you guys can all lean on each other too when you're switching. Okay, so I showed the share thing. Is there any other, you can, transaction desk. Do we want to go into, I mean, I can just show you. So for example, if your client wanted to write an offer on this property, for example, you just hit transaction desk. If GMAR is planning on doing transaction desk, but either way, if it's dot loop, if it's anything, they're likely going to have a little toggle screen to where you can click a button up here, and then it's going to populate all of the information into what you need. So for example, it's going to say, here's your property address. Is this a listing? Is this a purchase? So you can do purchase. And then it's going to use the wizard. It's going to pull all of the information, probably similar to what RealComp does right now. And then this is where you'll be able to see all of your documents. It will pull the disclosures into there, so you don't have to download disclosures and upload. Yeah. And then your forms.
So Katie,
Yes.
for statuses, like
Yes.
the listing status, does that?
Yep.
Will that, and I don't know if you know this, but like, it says active backup, like ours is ABO.
Yes.
Does that correlate to all flexes that are the same? Like, is it the flex rule or is it the GLAR rule?
So that's a good question. I would think that Flex all has the same options. It will just, if there's any rules, are you talking about your property went under contract on Friday, like how fast it needs to go under
Well,
contract?
like a lot of times when I go to Lansing, I'll call and be like, hey, this says active. They're like, no, we close tomorrow.
Yes, because they don't integrate very well. So it's a GLAR thing.
Okay.
So if you have GMAR, it's probably going to communicate better.
They have like probably
Yeah.
the biggest share
Yeah.
within the state, like as far as GMAR, so their
Yeah.
likelihood of communicating and making things easier on you guys, they have the loudest voice in the room, so to speak.
Yes, yeah, that's the biggest thing with
Get louder.
GLAR. Yeah, yep. So, this is another good thing too, is so you're able to go in here. So let's say your property went under contract, you can go in here and change listings. Say this vacant land property went under. This is where, the person that asked me about the showing time. So this is where you can enable or disable showing time or make any changes. This is where you can put in additional photos, documents. This is after the property list though, then you get the full scope of everything that you're able to do. Change the list price. You can add an open house. You can assign a sentry box lockbox. You can close a listing, pend a listing. So for example, I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to pend it, but we'll click on it and then you'll say pending effective today and hit confirm. Same thing with adding a contingency. The contingency, you'll have the option of marking a contingent or active backup when that. Is he good? Okay. Yeah. Is your insurance active, Dominic?
Lori?
No.
No.
so then you're able to go through and just change everything and to make it final.
Okay, so you
Exactly.
can't configure showing time until it's active.
Exactly,
That's
yep,
annoying.
yeah.
What is that cancel listing?
So cancel listing would be, they called you and fired you and you need to cancel listing.
So
Yep.
you don't have to go through like the front desk to do.
Not here, right, because I know with real comp, anything you have to do has to go through MJ. Here I have full scope to do that, so I
That's
can
what the brokerage has to
close it
stop.
out. Yeah, so it would just be up to KW, it'd be up to GMAR. Yeah,
We have a whole
If
brokerage
you
to do
need
that.
to update your documents.
Yeah.
Is it, sometimes I see like multiple sellers disclosures
yes.
and
So this is where you would just go into your documents and say, let's say, you know, your client filled out the seller's disclosure statement. Since that's been filled out, there's been a roof leak and they've replaced it and you need to update the disclosures. That's where you can go in and you can hit edit document, delete document, add document, super, yeah, user friendly with the documents.
Would you be able to show us what the input form looks like?
Yeah, so you can, let me get into transaction desk. So that's pretty similar to real comps as well. Let's see here. So Sherman. So this is transaction desk, if GMAR decides to go with that. Your input form will look like this. So you've got an input form similar to what you guys have now. Commercial, vacant land, residential. So this is what the form will look like. It just depends on the program. So if it's transaction desk, this is what it'll look like. If they do something different, it might look a little bit different, but the form will still be the same. So it's going to pull everything from my MLS, and then you'll be able to type in all of the information. And this will correlate with the input that we just did. Now, let's see here. One of the questions was, once I complete this, can I send this over to?
Yeah, I don't see the upload button at the top.
No. Let's see. So that might be a question that we can take down.
Wouldn't the upload button show up after the required fields are filled?
It might, yeah, might have to go through everything. I'll
Alina,
do some research
you
on
said
that.
you can fill this form out and then it
In
uploads.
Remind.
in Remind?
Yeah, you create the transaction.
I know, I'm like, this is thinking of all the time that,
Yeah,
just like we used to.
just like with transactions.
Yeah.
You can do that very nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Cause I hated that, having to do it all.
It's always fun when you work to fill all of this out and then you get into the MLS and do the exact same thing. So, yeah, so that's a good question. Any other questions about?
This was
Flex?
absolutely perfect.
Good, okay,
Exactly
good.
What I was
Good,
hoping
good.
for.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're feeling, but I would say if you want something that's a little more intuitive, a little more easygoing when it comes to putting listings in and working with your clients on things, it's huge. I can get access to disclosures on my app and text it over to my clients. I mean, it's nice when you're out in the field and you're driving and doing all of that
Just
stuff.
open, you don't have to like click the download button and hopefully it does and
No,
stuff
so,
like
no, right, exactly. So, right, so let's say I wanna get into Flex. I hit Flex, you do the face login and everything's right here, so. Yep. Question was addendums. I don't think so. So that would be a transaction desk app. So if you can do transaction desk app, you might be able to do that. But at least with Flex, yeah, you don't have access to paperwork, but you have access to the disclosures and can send those. Yeah. Perfect. Well, best of luck with deciding. I know GMAR has a lot of resources, but if you're, you know, out and about and you're like, you know, freaking out, you gotta get a listing in right away, just call me, and if I'm available, I'll certainly be willing to help.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
know it's a stretch to get you in here.
No, yeah, you're fine. It's you know, planning a wedding and all that stuff. It's been fun. We're fine.
Fine, so fine.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Right,
thank
and
you
everybody knows that
very
if you
much.
want this, you have to go to GMAR or GLAR, or sorry, GLAR. Lansing or GMAR have Flex.
right?
Yeah.
And GMAR is waiving the MLS dues for the first quarter.
Oh,
That's a
that's
nice little
big.
bonus.
Yeah.
And then only $99.
There's more information.
Like, will we have more X better? That's a board doc.
Yeah.
You know that listings are just gonna automatically transfer those.
From what I've read, yes, I think they will transfer over, and you'll be able to edit them on January 1. Do I know that? Absolutely. Is it gonna be a shit show no matter what our choice is?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We haven't in one time.
It's gonna be messy, because there's gonna be people that don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So like switching my. Okay, one second. This one switching.
Is made up. Mine says.
I think
Does that change?
No, you don't have a board.
Oh, it's on that and that. It's sort of like a make it easier.
Have any effect on it.
What was that, Katie?
So, I don't know, so like I got primary for Blar, and then I got secondary for Elcar, and I'm going to keep it, at least for right now, until things transition and see if I ever need access to Realcom. You guys should have the access to do that too. I mean, if you want to spend, it's more money, but if you wanted to spend, do your primary with GMAR and then a secondary with Elcar, yeah, you would have access to Realcom as well as Flex, and then you guys can kind of use both programs for a couple months and see what you want to do, but it'll cost more.
They're calling it a gateway membership, and it costs $50 for the year for the board, and then you have to pay the additional MLS dues.
Right.
So team wise, I haven't figured out which is gonna be my primary, which is gonna be my secondary, but I'm gonna be like Katie and have both.
It's not that much more to like just dive in and have access to both and then figure out what you want to do. It's just an option.
My other thought, especially for teams, is if Pat's GMAR and I'm Elcar, and for some reason your data doesn't share cleanly, we can list it under his name in one, mine in the other. We co-listers.
I don't know, you just tried to kill him. I don't know that he's
To be
gonna.
fair, that chair tried to kill him. I was. All right, this group, take 5 and then we'll come back in here. You're not ready to anything else.
You guys are welcome. Good luck with everything.
GMAR will have, after our conversation, admin.
I can always see wedding pictures. I'm so excited. Literally, wedding events at 10:30 are like.
And I know it's not.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm so excited. We're getting married in Battle Creek. So December 9th, so 40 days.
I don't know what that is.
I'm almost like sad about it though, because you have something to look forward to, and then once it's over, and then you're like, oh, you know, but it'll be fun.
You're gonna be a new bride. Thanks, I'm excited. Yes. What do you know about numbers? I was like, I didn't want to answer stuff. So I was like, this is all, you know. I didn't really see that. Okay. So yeah. Well, more important.
Am I real? Yeah, so they're going to now.
Yes.
How are you?
Going, I'm good. That's what it gives.
Yeah.
It's only getting nicer. We can't play regular.
It just did, very covered area, otherwise it would be 5 covered bays out.
Are we all gonna sit in the front?
Yes.
Lex reminds me of,
Best day ever.
I don't have a space. Do you need it?
PowerPoint presentation.
Since she left.
There is convenient things. I'm gonna go get my water. And then. What are we breaking today? So that's,
Wait, was it
Oh, boy. I don't belong here anymore.
KW?
I shared it with you.
ATU.
okay.
If there's someone in your contacts that like also has their phone open, that you can. Yeah. Between there, but.
Adi. All right, friends. Maddie's not here, so I haven't printed the agenda, but it's the same as usual, so we're good. Kodax is in Florida. Brooke is sleeping at the moment to be ready for her first night back at the hospital. Maddie,
She's working, right?
Maddie?
No, bro.
Yeah, she's a nurse. Yeah, she's never in the hospital for like
Right.
scary things.
That's fun.
They pay her to be there. So we've got 2 in Florida and 1 sleeping, and then this is everybody else, so it's kind of like, oh, but we have Jess here today.
Hi.
Which is so good. All right, does anyone have any happy thoughts?
Going to Nashville tomorrow.
That's fun.
That's exciting.
What for?
Hensley tournament. Hockey? Yep.
Patrick?
The grandson's in the playoffs, football.
So exciting.
I have a question for Kaylee. What's the difference between a sit-down jeans and a stand-up?
Oh, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, these are stand-up jeans. I'm not very comfortable right now. I was eating lunch.
Anybody else have happy thoughts?
Mhm.
I'm happy that Jessica's here. My life just feels better when you're here.
I'm happy that I'm here.
Are you?
Yeah, I was telling my dad yesterday that I was coming and he goes to Jessica, just make sure you talk quietly and you don't seem overly excited. I was like, screw you.
Why?
What a downer.
I know. What is that about? I was like, okay, these people know me. I think they'll be fine. They already know I'm a stat.
This is like
relax.
a formal presentation.
Right.
You're already hired.
I mean,
All right,
it is formal. It is important.
It is important.
So thank you for having me.
All right, so Jessica, as you all know, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Everyone here.
everyone here know, well, you all know Jessica, but you all know she's senior our listing management contract close. So she's gonna give us a brief overview of like her systems, because they're gonna look a little different.
Yeah, and one of the things I just want to say is like, you guys know me, so I feel like opposed to the people that I'm working right now with, just like tell me if you think it needs to be improved or if it could be better. I'd love to hear the feedback. So currently, this is what we're doing. The website is just advantageservices.com. The order page.
The name?
Sorry, Jillian. So.
I'll say, he can make one and can link right to it, right?
She's gonna have
Second
something.
domain. Well, I know. I don't love it. I pretty much just call it, when I'm talking about it, I say agent services. This is it. I have a rebrand in the works, but I'm not there yet. Okay, so you've got your pre-listing, your listing pending, and your buyer pending. Order form, all 3 of these links will take you just to a Google form that will have everything that I need to get going on it at least. And as Bill and Kaylee know, I'll kind of bug you until I have everything I need if I don't. Usually for
listing pending, if I have worked on the pre-list, I won't need you to fill out the Google form because I'll kind of already have everything and I can tell everything else from the PA. So typically I don't need the listing pending form, just the PA is fine.
Just shoot you an email, and be like, hey, we.
Yep,
we accept
yep.
an offer.
Mhm.
Just like.
And you can even say, can you send it for bottom line or for seller signature? Or just give me the bottom line.
Does the pre-listing prep include a paperwork phone call, or is that still something?
It does not include the phone call, just for timing purposes. I know, I'm very sorry. But what it does include is a email template that has a breakdown of what each document is. So that goes out to the client, just kind of saying what it is. And then in my email, it kind of says, you know, fill out the seller disclosure, please,
Hold on.
because everyone
How did you
forgets.
just do that?
That's my email templates.
Yeah,
That's not how you got that.
I'm not
picture in
showing,
there.
I'm not telling you.
how did you have a list of templates? That
Well, you don't use that?
oh my god,
You didn't know that was a thing?
no, I copy and paste from Word.
You never used canned responses before?
You knew this was a thing?
We do, but we don't know how to use the
Then
template
I
to
say
copy and paste.
something.
Yes.
I thought I literally copied and pasted your Word document. I thought you just made that Word document to send to me.
Really?
That would be so nice of him.
I mean, it's very easy. You have to turn it on in your settings the first time. But then you've got these 3 dots and you put the email in there and then you go to templates and you say save draft as template and you can name it.
You gotta delete your signature first, else you'll get
Yes.
double signature.
Yes, which is real dumb. So
You will do the paperwork prep though.
I do the paperwork prep. Yes, I fill it out as much as possible before sending it to the client. I kind of toggle between, it kind of depends on the timeline between either sending the real comp listing form to sign or just the partial save for them to sign off on. Do you guys have a preference?
Partial save.
So let's just role play this.
Yeah.
Right. Why don't you?
We go on a listing point after this meeting today, and then they want it active next week. What do we do?
You go and fill out the pre-listing form. Here, let's just do it. Do you have signed listing paperwork?
No.
Please send prepared listing paperwork to client, including a brief explanation of the required documents. Your other choices are agent will get a signed copy, or it's already signed in DocuSign. Or I'll upload it below, so you can, those are your 4 options. And DocuSign is interchangeable with Dotloop.
So what if, so this wouldn't, so this maybe this question is for Aaron. Like listing book with paperwork.
For the binder.
So could they fill that out ahead of the appointment and you send them the paperwork?
Yep, just make sure in the notes to tell me like listing appointment is Thursday. Can I have listing paperwork before that?
Doesn't, the binder's coming from Maddie, right?
Maddie will prep the binder, but Jess can send
Yeah.
Maddie and or you the paperwork and Maddie can print it for the binder.
With the binder, there's an option to check, do you want listing paperwork?
Right,
So we
Maddie's
just say
that
taking
no.
out
word.
paperwork for it.
Is that worth your time though? Because if we're just going on an appointment, we don't.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
sort
because
of,
Maddie can still do the paperwork.
I think it's up to you guys.
sort of a don't ask, don't tell situation for me, I guess.
So my thought is, if it's a generic, like, it's a sign call, it's not warm, I'll print out a super blank copy of the listing paperwork myself. If it's my aunt, I'm gonna have Jess prep the paperwork, because I'm gonna sign the listing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So use your discretion on what you need, and if you need just a super generic blank one, you and or Maddie can put it together. If you would like Jess to prep it, she can.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yep.
So other than that, just address. I mean, I don't need to go through this whole thing. Occupancy. This is just so I can set up showing time correctly. If you need them.
Does this trigger you to schedule it then?
Yes, so I need to know just like company and how to order here.
what if we don't know the company? Or I guess we do know the company.
Did you ever?
Bill Tate's been doing a lot of our photos.
Yeah, so all that I need is just, what is the name of it? I'm sorry,
Homescape.
Homescape.
Okay.
And
But if you hate using Bill Tate, just put whoever else you want to use.
The Homescape too.
and then I'll kind of figure it out, but this should probably be updated, because I will need like a date and the company, whatever, if you have a requested date. If you need assistance ordering a sign and lockbox, just tell me. I mean, I kind of know, you guys are all using signs in.
Yeah.
So I'll just know.
Our signs aren't anywhere
Roots
else.
Group uses signs in, so just say yes. And then we can have a runner deliver the lockbox if you want. Otherwise, that's kind of on you. I just need to know the code or what kind of lockbox it is or whatever. If there's any requested showing restrictions, requested coming soon list date, if there's an open house.
So is having a runner run the lockbox included with?
That is
Right.
not, that's an additional.
Okay.
Lockbox delivery gets charged at 25 an hour plus mileage outside of the office.
Okay.
Like outside of a 20-mile radius of this office.
So as I
This
work
office or the other office?
This office,
so who would do the run?
one of my runners.
Okay, so
I have like a
mileage
team of
from
people.
Vantage to here to.
No.
No.
Just out of this
We're
office.
talking mileage from here, so I'll track it from here to the house. And if it's outside of 20 miles, then the mileage tax on, and I think it's something like 67 cents on the mile.
Does that come out of our closing? Can you build out of our closing, or do we have to give you a credit card?
So
or
it's
a-
monthly invoice.
Okay.
So I don't know how we wanna do
The
that.
team pays for that.
Okay.
My goal is if you can do your own lockboxes.
For sure.
Yes.
I try to take them to the appointment.
Yeah, if
I
shit gets
work on work.
crazy, sure, use the runner service, but none of us are so busy that we.
Right,
need
not right
to
now, no, not at all, I'm just curious.
So if we want to list appointment today, could we have a listing coming soon by Wednesday?
Next week,
Yeah.
What's your turn time? Do you have a minimum turn time?
I like to have 48 hours. It depends on how much you have me do, right? So like if I'm working on the paperwork, I'd like an extra day, because that usually takes me a while.
Like if-
Sometimes agents bring me in, like, I already have the paperwork signed, sign is there, just input it.
Okay.
That I can do next day, so it depends. I like to have 48 hours.
Billy's so pleased. He's got his girl back. He's-
Okay.
Are you
You
gonna
should
try?
have, you
So
should have
many
started
rules.
high there, you should have started with 4 days,
Right.
because that's just gonna continuously get beat down.
The price, the commission, the transaction fee amount. This split question for you guys, when it says another agent, obviously if there's a referral fee involved, tell me that. But this is for the team split, if you don't mind putting that there as well, just because I think it'll be different based on the deals.
Self-generated versus team-generated.
So, tell me that there, and then if you want me to order pre-title. Any weird miscellaneous notes, and then your logins, you only have to put those in once.
And don't be like me and totally take for granted that like she has those.
I probably could have like really thought about it, but
So miscellaneous notes would be like particular things that you would put in the remarks.
Sort of, but usually I can figure out, usually in the remarks, I'm putting your contact information, occupancy, exclusions.
Things
That's
like,
it.
they're hard of hearing, or it's a divorce situation.
That,
Husband's on the paperwork, wife is the other one.
exactly, that's what I want in the miscellaneous notes, it's like, it's in a trust or weird shit.
What's the process for updating logins, especially if we're all switching to?
Yeah, I will try to log in and I won't get in, and then I'll call you and be like, what the hell?
I mean, just want to send an email first, so.
That's the process. If you change it,
certified.
then let me know. If you're that organized.
Self-destruct.
So other than that, I mean, the buyer's side is pretty much the same. It asks like, has inspection been scheduled yet? Do you want me to send EMD electronically or whatever? What are you guys using?
Ernest,
You use Earnest. Or they drop it off sometimes.
yeah, or Jack.
or there's like those options. I think for miscellaneous notes, what I need there is like if you, and usually I can tell from the PA, but if you want me to send EMV right away or after inspection or whenever. Weird timelines for that.
Well, you'll collect the earnest.
Mhm.
Okay, you don't have it.
Mhm.
And he'll chase signatures if we're missing stuff.
Yeah, so for signatures, I will send electronically. I will send the clients an email or telling them what it was and why. And then if it's like a day or two after, I'm like, hey, your client hasn't signed this yet, I'm still waiting on it. What do you want me to do? So usually I mean, that's up to you then, if you want me to call or if you wanna call. You'll use your word, whatever. Yeah.
So like the addendum you sent this morning, did you get notified that it was signed, or should I send it to you or tell you that it's signed?
If I don't, it depends on what I do in the background, don't remember what I did, but if you don't have to send it to me.
Okay.
I will either put myself on it so I get notified, or I will look into it later to find it.
Final water reads and stuff like that, do you do that? Okay.
Yeah, I check occupancy, do the final read, send key exchange.
So after closing, like with tagging and putting closing anniversaries in the Google Calendar and such, how is that working now?
That will come back to Maddie.
Okay.
So she'll do the tax letter and the.
Yeah, my closing ends with sending a review request I put as many links I can find as possible on you in the email. I will turn the commission tab. I will mark sold wherever it needs to be. I send a little, like you guys got the under contract image to use on social media if you want, and then I have a just sold one as well. That's pretty much where it ends. I send a congrats, you're closed, here's everything that I did. Same thing to the clients, I'll include the closing paperwork, but that's just at closing time.
Like how I asked you to do the price change, is that stuff that I can ask you to do? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so for active listings, if they're sitting, twice a week, they get feedback emails. Tuesdays is just like the showing time report, and then Fridays it's the exact same thing that you got with me previously.
Do we have to adhere to a specific listing timeline?
Do you prefer to?
My days are just chaotic. I don't, that's
Not in control of her own life anymore.
No.
I'd like to have a quick master write around that today if we can.
You change that, you gotta change the books.
We have,
Part of my script.
we have the power to do this.
If you need key exchange forms from other brokerages, will you track them down, or will you tell me to go track them down and then send them to you?
What do you mean?
Like after closing.
Yeah, like
if.
Yeah, there was a key exchange form and she's like, I need this key exchange form. I'm like, then ask the agent for it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It was so
That's-
frustrating to me.
No.
So, okay. perfect.
No, I will either look for it in the closing package or ask the title company or ask the other agent for the form. Or I'll just send out a generic one, keys or exchange.
Yeah, perfect.
All set.
Yeah? Okay,
Any other questions
We-
for Jessica?
If we need to like update or ask for something, do you prefer that we keep it all in email and not text you anything, or
I prefer email, I always have, because
just keep it all in one place?
yeah,
there?
I get in a bad habit of looking at my texts and forgetting. But I'm also in the habit of screenshotting text messages and emailing them to myself, so.
And it's info at advantage.
agentservices.com. And I'll email you all a hello. Who are we missing? Maddie?
Maddie, Lindsay Kovacs, Brooke.
Lindsay, I already emailed this, so.
Right. And Brooke, like, no problem, neither is Maddie, so you have the worst behaved children in the room.
All right.
Our three most compliant. What?
So we're that bad with honor.
Yeah, Pat broke a chair today.
Is she talking about my birthday?
Yeah.
I've heard.
I was like, I'll never be your first one like this, but your second one.
I literally laughed out.
Okay,
Perfect overachiever and not me, but
And so
Thank you.
happy.
spicy and fun, so you can go wrong.
okay,
Everybody, you can stay or go, whatever you wanna do.
I'll go if you don't mind.
And I was like, she's a really good child.
You're good.
You don't
I
like
got
us?
like all of the Halloween activities tomorrow, so I need to get my day done.
I'll see you.
Yeah, can't wait.
And then we do it again at chorus school, so it'll be great.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you soon.
He set up shop in this office again.
Yeah, well, that's something we
Closer to home.
can talk about. I don't know. If you guys ever want me to like be here to talk about stuff,
And you
Have
can work
me
from
be
here
here.
whenever you want.
and I can work from wherever I want.
Like
Usually, I'm at Breaker Coffee House like 2 days a week, so.
You can just
Now you can
also-
come here. You can find me
I apparently was supposed to be there this morning.
at Breaker Coffee House.
I thought it was after pickup, not after drop off meeting. So I told Marta, I'm like, oh, sorry, I don't know if I'm gonna make it today. She's like, it was at 9. Cool.
Love that.
Definitely did it.
All right, objections for the week. Has anyone learned anything fun this week? Kaylee sold a house a couple of times,
Same house twice.
same house twice.
in a week.
For 2 different people.
You did? I sold the same house twice.
My record is 5, so hopefully this third time's the charm.
How many times did you sell her house?
Which one?
So Aaron, anything at the oil house? Did you say?
I think 3.
Adios.
Ben,
See, Jessica.
you're listening at Plymouth, anything?
I had one really shitty offer that we
It turned out
declined
to
to
be
counter.
That's what I said, because I want to know.
Listing was 625 and the offer came in at 550.
Whoa, is that bad?
Listed at 625, offer at 550.
Probably one of
Couple
the,
days on market, yeah. 600.
So did you not take it? Did you counter it?
No, so I was declined to counter.
So the people we're under contract with now is the guy
Why
that
do
sent
you
me
look
the
so
one at
disgruntled
250 and
about
I said no. The one where I was like, no, they do not wish to accept it this time, and he came back and came back again and came back, now he's up to 3.
What did you say?
Why do you look so disgruntled about somebody offering 12% less than less?
I'm not disgruntled about it. I think everyone is thinking my face looks different. My Botox is totally gone. So there's so much more expression than you guys are used to. Don't worry, we're gonna get that fixed next week. I literally told Rick, she's like, why are you doing this? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I asked him if he wanted to make him chicken, and he said no. And he's like, why are you annoyed at that? I'm like, I don't give a shit if you want chicken or not.
or loosen.
Like, it's my face, I
I've
guess.
actually done studies on that Botox is like a reason why people get divorced and fight more, because you can't write people's nonverbal communication.
I think I react, like, there's more reaction.
Sure.
My face is moving.
Yeah.
So much.
But some people get just like permanent resting bitch face from it, so they can't be like excited or happy or anything.
I look rested. I look less exhausted.
I really feel like there's like no rules though with like offers and such. We haven't, as a whole, as a group of realtors, we haven't sorted that out. When you can offer less, when you should offer, like, it's just like the Wild West right now.
Sure.
We haven't
Let's talk
figured it
about
out.
that, though. Like, I'm not disgruntled about it. I don't care what the offer is, but how to handle, so that we've been on market for 3 days, they come in 75 grand lights. It's a divorce situation. How do you handle it? So
Counter
there's a-
624.
It's hard to even know when to tell them, like, yeah, we might get better, or there's the whole rule of the first offer is always your
One
best
thing-
offer, so it's just.
People asking, I never share anything like that.
So let's
Just
talk about
don't
how we,
move, I don't share with the who walks there, an open house.
sure.
I don't share why they move or why they're selling, they just move.
Let's talk about how we could talk to our clients, especially in this market, right? So it's a delicate balance of making sure, we have to present every offer legally, that's required. Making sure that they know what their options are, but I'm not getting emotionally involved in it. I'm also mirroring and matching as best I can, right? So luckily, both gals were very, silly about it, like, oh, fuck that, like, absolutely not, ha ha ha. Okay, great, here are your options. I think a counter offer makes sense, something north of 600. We discussed 600 as listing price, or you can just politely tell them, thank you, but no thank you. they chose to do the thank you, but no thank you, but I'm also mirroring and matching them, and they're like, yes, that's slightly ridiculous. I'm not.
Is it though? Was it? If you're gonna list at 600?
And just to know, like, is something better gonna come along? How do we?
We don't know,
though?
we
Like,
don't know, and that's what we discussed that, like, maybe we've been on market for 3 days. Let's see what happens, we could counter, we could go down, yeah, I think that, based on the comps, 550 is silly, absolutely. And I'm still listing for accuracy, but maybe that's a method that doesn't work with this market, right?
with like monthly payments and such, if interest rates keep going up, it's like, yeah, this was your comp 2 months ago, but it's not your comp anymore because now their payment is $500 more a month. So
Absolutely, and we did discuss that
So
when we
hard.
listed. I said, I think 600 will move you quicker. And we talked about payments and all of that. They both figured they wanted to try 625, and if we don't really need 2 weeks, then we'll go to 600.
I was gonna make a video today targeted towards buyers about like, in this new market, stop asking what's wrong with the house just because it's sat for 30 days. It also doesn't mean that it's overpriced or that it's broken or anything. It's just, there's not as many people looking right now, so it just takes a little bit longer for some houses to sell. Because everyone, like, well, then what's wrong with it? Well, yeah, there's some things, but also like, it's just, you know, it is what it is. It's a fixer upper and we have to wait till the right one comes along.
The other thing is, like, you don't want to be caught in a 2007 situation where you were listed at 625
It's panic.
and 550 is actually going to be the number in 6 months. You know, and maybe you could get 575 today. So it's, you want to be moving the market, not following it.
And you run into like neighbors that when they panic sell, like egret went up and then a neighbor down the, well, we're knows for 275. Well, that's not even what your house is worth, but that's fine. So you've got people like shooting you in the foot from that.
Sure.
So now it's gonna be, or like my buyers, it just went, both the houses in Southfield were listed at 220. Our appraisal came back at 175. And now that house across the street is now worth 175 when it was just worth 220 weeks ago.
The other thing is talking about clients, about time versus money, right? They can afford to wait. They can, are you good? You have a stroke?
No.
It's just your face?
Small toes.
The time versus money, like, I think that in the spring and early spring, things are gonna loosen up a little bit. We're gonna start moving a lot faster. Part of it, we've got to factor in some seasonality here. And no one's predicting rates staying at 8%. So if rates go down to 7 or 6 point something, things are gonna go nutty again. So if they can wait it up till spring, wait.
So you think perception of buyers will be rates 7 going up still versus 7 on the way down? I mean, is it really gonna be that much of a difference, you think?
Again, people will be way more excited about 7 again than they were. What are you smirking about?
I'm smirking because people that were scoffing at 6.5% are all of a sudden going to be like 6.5%.
Right.
So I was thinking, yeah.
Remember you
Well,
got
the price has
excited
fallen.
because the
By
gas
the time
was
you get
down to
6.5 the
$4?
second time around. That makes sense. The prices were still high when they were at 6.11 the first
last
time,
weekend.
but if they come down when they're at 6.5, then they should have.
311.
If rates were at all, 1 million people are coming back into the market, the prices are going back up.
Patrick?
My first house was 10% land contract, rate. It was under 6 points under what the mortgage was at the time, 16%. 16%. So 10% was a swing deal,
What was the price of the house?
45,000.
In
So your
downtown.
payment was like $400 a month?
350 is what it was.
In downtown.
Rate just got
But also my point is people are divorcing, getting married, getting new jobs. It's never gonna stop that.
Yeah.
It's just the volume's not gonna be out, it never stops.
It's, people have to get used to the new normal, whatever it is,
Right.
whether it's higher prices, lower prices, higher rates, lower rates. And then we deal with whatever we're.
There's a downside a little bit too. You could add a garage, parking spot inside your garage, that'd be great. Solid.
Right, I'll get right on top of that.
Right. Small addition.
Numbers.
Yeah, forgot again.
Yeah.
No, it's wait, so you get like half fast, you could have turned them
I got really excited when you said Maddie was here. You put on the shoes.
I love that Bill got engaged and he didn't have a happy thought. That's my happy thought.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
alright.
have happy thoughts.
I'm happy.
He didn't tell anybody, so we had to find out on Facebook.
Right.
I told you guys,
He still hasn't
What?
told anybody.
did I not?
Confident.
She did. She did
I
not
text
tell
you
us.
happy birthday, you're
I
like,
told him
thanks,
it's
you like
rad.
mentioned being.
Here's why.
engaged.
You mentioned something like, he is busy with
I
something.
said you were excused.
I did a surprise 30th birthday for her in May, and she found out, everybody talks, I didn't tell anybody hardly until it was too late.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, I'm
That's
not.
smart.
So what did
I
you
just
say?
found out about this one.
How did you propose? What'd you say? What'd you do?
You wanna watch the video?
You got the whole video?
I did.
No, just the.
No, I love
No, click on it.
I told Aaron the one-on-ones last time. It's like, where do you do it? I was like, I said, I'm not sure, I have a few ideas. She said, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's number one on my list. Blah, 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 is a winery up in Traverse City. And, so we did it, and then Saturday, which is the day before my birthday, we went to the bridge over Boyne Run, the Lambert, the Sky Bridge, yeah. And I didn't plan to do it there, I was like, but I'm gonna keep the option open, you know, I have it with me, which is fine. Oh, God, photos will be packed, it's a beautiful view of the winery.
It's so great.
It's like, fuck, so played it by ear, we got there, everybody was inside, there was like 3 people outside. So she went outside for a while, took some cell phone pictures, and she's like, I'm getting cold, let's go in, it's like, all right, well, I'll grab the camera here, lights, starting to get dark, it was like 5 o'clock, she's like, you know, let's get dark, let's get some pictures out there. So went out there, set it up, you know, a couple people out there, took some pictures with my remote. I was like, oh, let me go change some settings, put on video, walked over there and did the whole thing.
Were you nervous as hell?
No.
Bullshit, that was so weird.
Did she hesitate? She answered quickly.
She's like, I don't know, my hand goes on. It
She's so cute.
was a good trip though.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And then you'll live happily ever after. Not having the agenda, I should have printed this. It's fine,
Numbers due every Friday at 5, this is non-negotiable.
right? Thank you. We're back up to from my classes. I think pendings aren't probably,
Let's go to Bill wanting to change the listing week.
oh, yes, in 1 second. Because the rest of this, it was really quick, I don't want to forget if there's anything.
Can't change my script without.
Team retreat is November 16th, don't forget. It's an all-day, plan to block the whole day. We'll be somewhere, we'll probably be here in the morning, and then we're gonna go out to eat and probably to Captain's and do indoor golf afterwards. Your part of your homework preparing for the retreat, are you listening, William?
I am totally listening.
Is to find 2 companies' mission statements that you really like. They don't have to be like, oh gosh, this is my mission statement, just 2 mission statements that you really like. Because we're gonna be talking about mission statements. Good?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just do it.
You'll have our conversion numbers and stuff when we go over that.
I don't think we haven't been. Do we have those anymore?
I mean, I have to do the math, but yes, we have all the numbers. And if you didn't turn in the numbers, then that's on you, but I will give you a version of the conversion. Conversion version.
Did you guys not do that on Tuesday? Did you guys do the Joe?
Write that down.
Joe's class was like a mix of Mike Perna and Joe and a lot of talking.
So you didn't do the academic plan?
But don't worry, we will.
I did mine that day for fun, but I don't know my buyer thing, so I didn't get all of it. But my increased price point and the more of our cap, I doubled what I wanted to make, but my goal number only went up like 4 because we make a little bit more on our split and my average price had went up.
That's
So it was pretty exciting to like see that. I was like, sweet, I can make twice the amount of money next year by kind of holding true and selling like 5 more houses.
Love that. Photos with Santa is currently sold out, which is awesome. If you have, there is room on the wait list, if you have anybody who's on there. Oh, the next competition starts today.
Oh.
Today, and Maddie put it on the agenda. I'll wait till Phil gets back so we can talk about it.
So do you, is Manny taking screenshots of all of our
Ooh,
contacts?
I really have to submit it today.
No, it starts today and you'll turn it in.
So everybody I like that idea. We
I
should
do
have to screenshot. Well, you won't be able to tell.
Like who has total?
It's the honor system. If any of you guys talk about it.
So it only counts if you have.
No, because you're gonna be able to look at the end, you'll be able to see how many contacts I've added since this date. And then you'll pull up that date and we gotta make sure, I think we can.
All right, so the new competition starts today. It is Feed the Beast. Is everyone listening? Yes.
Anybody can figure out how to export my phone list into a editable spreadsheet, let me know.
Nope, don't know
All right. The competition is Feed Your Database. So the database is your data bank. 1 point for every new addition to your database between now and November 22nd. With you have to have name, phone number, email, and physical address for it to count. So you have to have all 4 pieces of information. And whoever has the most new qualified ads picks a prize.
Go to your contacts.
Well, I know how, I'll tell you November 23rd.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, how do I?
I didn't scroll down.
Other than that,
Go like the date created, right? I think you can go like created.
everybody good? Who's going to actually participate in this competition?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
within the last, how many days you want?
So
Just Addie and Bill?
After 3 weeks or
Yes,
whatever,
you're not.
I'll come in there and put in 21
I am.
days. I'm like, I got 10 or 40 or 400.
And then you can go.
Oh, then if we're arguing, yeah, we
I know.
gotta check them if it's close.
I'm actually trying to make new connections right now with my personal group.
Let's do that after the meeting. We're totally doing phone jail. Pat's back there with his phone.
It was better.
Hey, your number on that chair, man, good work.
So, along with database, fun fact, as a team, can anybody guess how many team tasks there are past due right now?
I don't know how to do any of that.
118.
Judging by Katie's reaction, 700.
3,000.
11,870.
Holy shit.
Cool. All right.
So with that said,
I think Aaron has a lot just by that reaction.
what I mean by that is if you have people on smart plans and all it's doing is creating past due tasks, take them the F off of smart plans and create a smart plan that you'll use.
All right, let's talk about listing timeline.
What?
Listing timeline. So we go active on a certain, or photos on a certain day, active or coming soon on a certain day, and active on a certain day. It's less of a concern now because Jess is flexible on timeline. However, I really like as part of my script that this is our method and this is what gets us the most results. We are going to experience more days on market. So the do this plan and we'll have you sold by Sunday is kind of out the window. What are your thoughts?
So I don't know, my first thought is how many days of coming soon do we like? Like, not even we, but just you personally, like, what do you think is a good number of coming soon days?
I think a lot of sellers like starting showings up front.
They like it?
Yeah.
Friday versus
Or-
Thursday? We do it on Thursday. Great.
Yeah, I do Fridays. That's what I find.
Do they-
I feel like it is nice though, because then they have just like a weekend to get a bulk of them out
Right.
if we're gonna get a bunch
Yeah.
for sure.
And I like the script, so.
And the open house, the opening weekend is nice as well.
I like a day or like 2 days of coming soon. I think the coming soon is helpful for really hot properties or properties that sell quickly. It's less important for something that's gonna sit for 30 or 60 days.
True. Doesn't matter if you have a hot listing and you're gonna get all all these offers right on that Monday, that Sunday or Monday, do you want it to say it's been listed for one day, or do you want it to say it's been listed for 6 days at that point? Just do.
If it's not, I don't think it matters.
You're talking just for like that social media posts, I got this other days that you're getting up to.
No, like if I'm writing an offer on a house that just, I'm looking at the days on market.
Oh, I got you.
If it's one day on market, I'm writing the offer, it's a little bit different than 6 days on market.
Right.
That's a good point.
Do we do coming soon at all?
I like coming soon because it gives lots of points in coming soon, but one of them is for us to generate leads.
I think it gives you marketing time without worrying about showing requests and
Yeah,
other
and
things of that
that's
nature.
why I'm curious, is one day enough?
Like maybe on Mondays or Tuesdays, it's coming soon until
Like, how can we do a better job of
marketing.
getting more leads?
I do the Fridays, so it comes soon on Wednesday. We do that all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and then Friday it's live. I like that.
Like we have more time to email it to like our personal databases and stuff, or as a team, share the listing for that first week. To be coming soon, it only has to have one picture, doesn't it? So, like we could send the rest of the pictures to our own personal people, could we not, as a team?
Or put it like on a social post?
Yeah.
With more pictures?
The one thing I was gonna say is we were running into a problem with Catherine and Corinne was we wanted it coming soon on Wednesday. Sometimes that would be like 6 PM on Wednesday. Whereas my thought was,
Right, not all day.
I want all day Wednesday. I think Jess is gonna be more proactive. And not that they were proactive, they were just drowning.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
It's just fair, yeah.
put it close the door. I don't want, I'm not knocking them. They were just drowning in it, so.
But I like that idea of having more marketing time with less photos on the main thing, so people have to reach out to you.
Kind of 72 sold-ish.
Yeah, like you get one photo and it's coming soon, and I'll give you the rest of them when it goes live on. Maybe that would require some effort on our parts to help Jess with that or something, but.
Yeah, well, I'm also trying to think like, can we semi 72 sold it and give us some more coming soon days and exclusively sell it?
Don't you only get 2
Like
days?
within the team.
So you can do up to 5 business
5
days.
days.
5 business days.
Yep.
So you could really do,
Or you could
Almost
go
a
to
week
the
you can do.
Lansing board and then you get like 3 weeks.
I'm not gonna leave it. $500,000 last year in fines. I'm all set. That's how much more. I really like photos on Mondays.
I do too, because it gives them the weekend to get ready for it.
Yeah.
But then I also like, I don't like, me personally, I would also like to do coming soon on Monday.
Yeah, now that I know you can do longer, I thought it was 2 days. I kind of lean towards that a little bit. That means you have to, now it's a 2-week process. We
Right, is
used to
there
be able to list
yeah.
a house in 1 week,
Aaron, I
but now it's a 2
5
week
business
process.
day or just 5?
Doesn't have to be if we do
Calendar
more
days.
legwork on our part.
How many agents do you think when they set up auto searches click coming soon and active?
Not many, because I've seen how many showing
Really?
requests I get when it's coming soon versus how many showing requests I get once it goes active.
Oh, look on.
I don't even think people know that you can request showings on coming soon
Yeah.
listing, so.
So if that's the case, then are we doing a disservice because of all the idiots out there not playing?
No, I don't want to work with idiots.
Well, it goes back to marketing time, right?
I mean, they're still gonna get the email once it goes active, and then they'll schedule it then.
Yeah.
So
Let's
it's
also
fine.
asterisk all of this with Gmar, once it's fully separate with Flex, they have totally different rules,
Yeah, but it's not gonna be totally different where we can't become this in 3 days versus 4.
I'm sure, but, really quick, you're going to Gmar, you're saying Elkhart.
Yep.
You're
I'm gonna go to Gmar.
Gmar, you're Gmar, you're Gmar,
Switch.
you're gonna switch. Okay.
Why are you saying?
I don't know. Why I'm staying.
I'm gonna stay as
Think about
it.
it, because Gmar's probably gonna go out of business in a year, like everybody else that's came into the business in the last year.
Elkhart's probably doing it.
99 a quarter.
I was looking up all the different boards, there's like
I'd be
a,
willing to
mid,
take a
there's
bet on
mid,
that.
there's other ones you can join
Mark goes out of business?
too.
Before Elkhart.
Like there's the Shiawassee Association of
Elkhart,
Realtors,
Gmar, or neither are going out of business.
Elkhart,
Like real
we'll
time.
either need to.
Central
switch
Michigan
or not.
Association of Realtors, Eastern Central Association of Realtors, what's that one? Car? Yeah, there's like a bunch.
And in Michigan.
Why am I Elkhart?
What?
Why am I Elkhart?
If you wanna keep your.
I'm indifferent. I will have both.
I'm gonna have both until I figure out which MLS I like better.
And
You're
GMAR
gonna
is
have
waiving the MLS dues for the first quarter.
You can, if you
Real
join
common
GMAR,
flex.
you can pay $45 at Elkhart to be a
Gateway member.
sort of member, and then also then be able to pay for a real comp also. And I think you can still go to the GMF if you get it $45.
The 45.
What does GMAR use other than flex?
You'll still have showing time. They have, you should have come to Katie's fucking class. You'll have access to like 4 different signing options.
I didn't know what a class was.
Did I not come in your room? and
Well,
say-
I guess I don't understand this. Like, I thought it was the difference between real comp and flex, not GMAR and Elkhart.
Yes, they're directly associated. So if you're Elkhart, you'll have real count. If you're GMAR, you'll have flex.
How long has flex been around?
A while.
Usually Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, everywhere, but.
I thought flex was like a new thing that they just invented.
No. So the reason Katie was here is because she's a Lansing member, and Lansing has been on flex for quite a while, so she came to demo it for us today.
Got it.
We had a whole conversation.
Got it. I'm not worried about how to use
Right.
the system, whatever the
Integrates with
system
Outlook.
is. I just want to use what we're supposed to be using.
Both. Answer is yes. Problem is is like, if we list something in Flex, are we gonna then have to also list it in real comp?
Well, we co-list with her anyways, so it'll just go under Erin's name.
So Katie does list her listings in both flex and real comp, but Lansing is notorious for bad data share, and she thinks it's more of a board issue than a flex issue.
I wonder if that skews like
You should-
the new listings. and
If you like Ann
other
Arbor
listings.
market too, this should help you if you want to go to Ann Arbor and do Ann Arbor stuff. If you switch to GMAR,
Yeah.
it should be easier to do Ann Arbor stuff. In fact, we have different commission things between boards too. I would have to Google what the commission is.
Yeah, the
whenever I look.
P3,
Yeah.
4, F6, 9 or
So
thing.
ridiculous. And how do you pitch that to a seller too? Of like, well, if commission's this much on this part and then this much on this part, blah, 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 like, different things.
Did anybody else get the email from this Glover thing on November 6th? That was kind of interesting. All ways to take market share next year.
I probably deleted it. That's
Yeah.
what it's like, whatever.
Where's
Where's that?
No line? I think a pretty good panel. Good worth 3.5 hours, I think. Did you sell your Southline house yet?
That's the one that I sold twice this week.
Oh, it is?
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
it under contract now?
Technically not yet, 'cause it's not signed, but yes. So we
What
went
was
under
the final
contract.
straw?
So we went under contract with a cash offer over the weekend. Then they found out the septic field is in the backyard of the house, where it always is. They couldn't build backwards. So they had to build up instead of backwards, so they backed out over that. So it's stupid. And then we had a backup offer, which I called immediately, which is like, you guys want to do something again without her going back active.
Did you get to a certain price that prompted it?
310 we've been at. I've been getting offers at like 290, 295, 300, so that seems to be the sweet spot for 300. We started at 340. So, yeah.
Cash offers suck. It's like.
They're always just finicky
They're
like
so
that, like, I'm just
flaky
kidding,
that I
yeah.
took a cash offer on my Taylor house and literally the phone call that we bottom lined and talked about inspection. Agents like, just a heads up, we're definitely gonna be negotiating because the deck's in bad shape. Like, you knew that when you submitted this offer, I'm like, all right, well.
Take it out of your price, yeah.
I was like, yeah, and then they backed down just because.
I agree, they are.
They're all so flaky. I wish you could require a non-refundable EMD. Or maybe like a little like, hey, I'll accept your offer, but here's the deal, you gotta give me non-refundable,
We're not working independent. So
and I'm not marketing for the convention.
That rebuild over in Royal Oak, the guy didn't change it from the market, so pending until, like, it was closed, the county basically.
And with our PA, if you, I mean, depend, with our PA, he must change.
So if you go in real comp, I don't have it pulled up. If you go in real comp, underneath the pictures, there's a button that says report bad data. And you click that, one of the drop downs is agent has not marked it pending. They did it within 48 hours. You can click that and it'll send it to real comp and they'll see it. And then they'll find them if they don't mark it pending.
Nice. We need to do that. The good news is it closed, so I don't care, but it was weird.
Well, I mean, we should care because we all have to play by the same rules.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron's not gonna let us show houses in the middle of the pandemic, then neither can other people.
She didn't?
No.
You kidding me?
You didn't?
She made us wear gloves and masks and walk around with the Febreze coming out of our ass and all that stuff.
I did not, I made you wear masks when you had to. And no, I did not let him show houses when it was illegal.
It was only like a week, wasn't it?
2 months.
It was
We
May
totally
7th.
showed houses, the whole thing. We didn't? Oh, we
Trying to
didn't.
I'm taking advantage of the fact that I was on maternity leave and Rich would not let me leave the house.
I had a Canton cop who was worried that I was eating at a local restaurant. And I was visiting with the owner, I was eating. Just the asshole told us.
And you were still in
I'm
office
supervisor.
though, right?
I was still with the head dog.
The rules didn't apply to Mr. Supervisor. All right, so do we come to a consensus on timeline?
No.
I think it just whatever we want, right?
Yeah, I guess use your discretion on the listing. If it's like my Plymouth one, it was vacant, so showings and prep really wasn't a sensitive issue. So I think I did 1 or 2 days of coming soon.
I was
If
just
that-
more or less not looking to change a rule, but just to
To help us more.
yeah.
That's why I
talk
pushed
about it.
open up, sorry, Sunday, because we didn't get the signature like late Thursday.
Yeah, she was slow on it. What if we take that template in the book, have the days of the week there and leave the boxes blank? And then have a list of items and then you can fill them in.
I was just thinking that too.
We
2
have them,
weeks.
have them decide what works best for them to.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you want to do 2 weeks?
I'm thinking, because
So
if
don't
we can
go
do
over-
coming soon, I think I want to do coming soon on Monday,
Mhm.
which means photos and paperwork need to be done the week before.
Okay.
And then
Sometimes you
showings.
go on a listing appointment though, and they're like, I won't be ready for photos for 2 weeks because I've got this and this and that.
Well, that's fine,
and
it's
so
gonna be
like, oh, now we
blank,
gotta
we'll
push
sit
the
there
whole
at
thing down.
the,
Yeah.
right, you'll just sit there and be like, okay, so this is what I would like to do, what do you think?
Well, and like I always say, if this is the week we're gonna list, you decide what week it is. You know,
Yeah.
right, so we'll have Maddie edit it to have 2 weeks and
Better blank.
that are blank. And a list of items that are gonna go on there, so you can fill them in there if you want to.
And then maybe like, let's
I mean,
plan our listing week.
if I could list the house on like Tuesday, I'd rather do that.
Which time?
Coming soon or active?
Because it's active.
No, coming soon.
We'll do it coming soon, like Friday. But like if they don't have kids and, or whatever, and it's easy for them to leave, like no kids, no pets, stuff like that. I was on Tuesday so that while I'm working during the week, I'm working on.
This is the other thing that we talked about with like Woodland and stuff, is we need to be masterminding or discussing how to manage clients. So Woodland had over 50 showings that she had to get 4 dogs out of the house for and 3 kids.
Wow.
And so she's like literally at a breaking point. So like just how to have those conversations with people, what expectations should we be setting? Is there something that we can send them midway through, like, hey, it's okay, I sent you a housekeeper, like, I don't know, just, you know, things,
So my
what we can
thought,
do to keep people,
for somebody like
keep
that,
morale up.
who has a ton of kids and pets, like that's a lot.
There's a lot.
I would probably limit her showings to 4 days a week, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and
Okay.
Saturday. So Tuesday, Thursday,
And you
and
just know you
Sunday
can
are your
sleep
off
or
days.
whatever.
We will entertain one-off requests, but in general, we're gonna block it.
Okay.
So if they're blocked on showing time, so it's clear. And I'm gonna put in the agent only remarks that they've got a boatload of people and moving
Yeah.
parts. If you need a
Call it
showing
emergency type thing.
specific, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I would probably do. How long is that on market?
Since July.
Okay, so July, August, September, October, almost 4 months.
Yeah.
And we had quiet periods in there. It wasn't until this last price reduction that it was like, holy shit, I have 3 showings every day for 2 weeks and I'm tired.
So I might send a clean copy over at that point,
Just,
but
you know, just what can we do? We're like, hey, go out to dinner. I don't know,
Yeah.
just different
something.
things
But like,
to,
keeping kids entertained is hard.
yeah.
Honestly.
Now she's like, we just go to the neighbor's house across the street. And I was thinking,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
What?
11:30 PM after Dominic leaves and Michigan game, I've been drinking all freaking day. My seller texts me, he's like, hey, what are we doing? I'm like, fuck. So had I listed the dang thing on Tuesday,
You've been fine.
I've been working on it.
I do, I do.
That can be
like
hard
that.
though, when you
I do like
have a
that.
fun weekend plan and you have an active listing and the agents are calling you while you're drunk. It's like, call me tomorrow.
I sent
It
a
does,
70-year-old
like,
seller
Blow my mind like
a
a
text
year
message,
ago.
"You're the
when
best
Matt was
part."
the way to list a house
Oh.
Friday.
It was meant for
When
somebody
the
else.
best
Right.
agents
I
would
think it
literally
was-
list like 3 houses on
Your
Friday. and
best
they'd say,
part, like,
okay,
in response to a
Yeah.
text
don't
message.
talk to me
It was
till
so-
Monday.
And I didn't realize it for like 3 days, so I don't even text him again. I'm like,
No,
ugh.
all week.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's 70-year-old white.
So that's why, when you go on a listing appointment, it's like, why should I hire you? I don't drink or smoke. So if you
Yeah.
go to call me on Saturday night, I'll be
Yeah.
sober. There's that.
I'm sure I hate sports, I don't like alcohol.
Right. So
And
I
no
will be
kids.
available.
All right, so choose your own adventure. We'll get that thing edited in the book.
Sooner rather than later.
Well, Maddie will be back tomorrow, worst case on Monday.
We're gonna, oh yeah, we're just doing blank.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Feeling like
Anything else about this market? I just prefer some stuff.
You know, I showed a house last week. Luke Stamper's house, Robin has it listed. And it started at 875. Every time they reduce it like 75K.
A big one.
It went all the way down to 600. And I kept trying to show it like, hey, let's go look at this. I know they're motivated, I know they're motivated. Finally, we got to 600. I sent it to 5 people, ended up showing it to a couple of them. One of them really liked it. And this is the part that I think I need to get better at is, you're like, we love it, house is perfect, 25 acres is great, blah, blah, blah. And we just don't know if we can give up our pool. Like, well, there's a half-acre pond right there that's 40 feet deep. It's crystal clear, like, until you get a pool on one of these other 25 and a half acres, there you go.
You're outside.
You're good. And then they ended up calling me back later that night and say, you know what? We just can't because it doesn't have a pool. And I'm like, build a pool. I'm like, well, the problem is the pool that they built 5 years ago cost them $35,000, and they've already done the research on what it costs today. It's like
50,
double that.
mine was 75,000, but it was more money for cement around damn pool. than-
Yeah. So my question to myself was, is that just what they're telling me the reason is no? And did I not dig deep enough to try and overcome some different thoughts?
They're not motivated to move.
Without the pool,
They like their house enough to stay.
unless it has everything their current house has. What was their budget though?
They just wanted property. So I thought, but now we need property and a pool.
Like, is there a price point at which it makes sense to get, you know what I'm saying, where they have enough money to put the pool in and it's not?
I told them, like, this is priced so far below market now.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're walking in with minimum 125,000 equity at 600,000. My house for sale.
That's what I was trying to tell the people about Woodland though. So like with the cash people that backed out, I'm like, you can move the septic field, the entire septic field for $15,000 and still have $100,000 in equity with. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I don't know. People are much lazier than.
Well, I don't know, I'm just annoyed because I lost the touch of trying to dig deeper in. I know, why are you really saying no?
I don't think it's why, not why they're, not, why are they? I think it's, they're not motivated to say yes. They're not saying no to that house, they're not saying yes to selling and moving. Does that make sense?
Maybe-
They're only motivated if it checks all the right boxes. I probably have like 5 buyers that are like that. They're like, we will, but it has to have everything.
Yeah, but then when it does check boxes A through F, you find out there's a G now.
Oh, right.
Like, oh, okay,
It's a G, I didn't even know.
yeah.
But maybe they didn't realize they would miss their pool until they thought about missing their pool.
Started double A.
Have they seen other houses without pools?
Yeah,
So then circling back, okay, so a pool is a non-negotiable for
Right.
you. I won't show you anything else
let's
without
go.
a pool, is that
Update our
right?
stuff, yeah.
well,
Okay, if it's, because it's black or white for me. Is it a pool a must have or a nice to have? If it's a nice to have, then why aren't you buying this house? What else about this house isn't perfect enough for you to be willing to compromise the pool?
Right, sometimes it's like if the house was twice the size, but it didn't have a pool, then maybe it's worth it. Or if the acreage was bigger and didn't have a pool.
Okay, all right, so go add those contacts, do things.
Ready?
You have till the 22nd of November, so right before Thanksgiving.
What's the goal?
Isn't
What do we
that
think the
the
over-under is
Edmund
gonna be on this one?
That's 18.
I'm adding at least 125.
And then Fitzgerald's on.
Alright, we got 125, 125, we go 125.
Yeah, how
I was
much,
gonna say that now, so you guys all just quit.
what's your minimum goal for contacts
I
added?
don't know, just 125 right now.
What's this? We need to put more than that, so we can wait, so 126.
How many people are in your database right now?
You know what, I can
I
tell,
think I'm only at
I
like,
can tell y'all what y'all have, not including leads.
Alright.
I'd like to know what I think. I think I deleted a ton of mine to get down to like 200.
I don't like it.
Alright, so. I'll give it up. It was the other day. What I can't tell, which is annoying, is my individual database health score,
You can't.
because we're on the team. Oh, where was it?
So does it have to be created, like if there's another database that I like better, can I just use a different database?
Everything that the team sends out on your behalf will come from command. So,
So I can put people in there, but I don't have to like use any of the stuff in there per se.
No.
Just because there is one that I'm looking at that I like that takes a whole lot with like social media, it'll track all of my stuff with it, it's much more geared towards,
go for it. Anything that, but you need to make sure that people are also getting in command.
which is fine, as long as it's just that's in there so they can email them, then I can do that.
Okay. You're all free to go.
Thank you.
Giving us all a baseline.
Yeah, where was I?
So don't delete anybody for your database while you're in there cleaning it up.
So like Zach has 408 in his, but if I wanna look at like how many of those are leads versus not leads.
Although, can we track just our net? Like if I'm in there and I'm deleting people, can I
Zach,
like?
do you have any?
Yeah, you can delete people, yeah, because we're gonna look at how many people you've added in the last 3 weeks. So it doesn't matter.
So the total, what I have now versus
No,
what I have
no,
later
we're
doesn't
just gonna
matter.
pull up your ads for the last 3 weeks, so it doesn't matter your total or how many you've deleted.
Because I'm gonna be in there doing a bunch of stuff, there are probably people I should get rid of.
Yeah, no, it won't matter
Do
what
that,
you do.
yes.
We're gonna pull up how many people you've added in the last, whatever, what is it, 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
It's now till November 22nd.
Almost.
Alright, so we have 3,236 total records as a team. And 887 of those are leads, not contacts. Like Kaylee has 362 records, 56 of which are leads, 306 contacts. I have 498, all of which are contacts, no leads.
All my contacts are marked as leads, that was weird.
Bitch, you're at 404, 157 is leads. So a lead wouldn't count as a database ad. Correct.
If it has a full contact,
Yeah, I'm not sure why I have a lot of people leave.
name, phone number, email,
I
and
think that would just be where leads are distributed.
No, because you can click a button.
You click on it,
That turns
right?
into a lead.
yeah, somebody can keep both. If
And then it
you're,
helps you put them in your pipeline differently if you mark them as a lead.
if you're adding a new person with name, phone number, email, and physical address, then I don't care if they're marked.
All right, so you're only 23% of your leads have an address,
Okay.
but your contacts, that's super good. That's super, not quite as good as mine, but it's really good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's yours, 100?
Let's see.
He just did a very good cleanup.
Got it again?
That means you're missing some people. You need to work hard. You gotta be
And
straight
it's
from that
PA.
barrel, Bill. You're just taking the cherries.
I had 61% of 498 people with a home anniversary. Half of them have a birthday in there.
The home anniversary is not on her list, so go on. Daddy's got it for me.
Hey,
Every once in a while I get an alert that Ralph bought 2 years ago or some shit.
what's that? How many of what? Do you have? You're not in here. Oh, I can't see yours because you're an advantage person. Okay.
I can show you.
I should look at some of them. Good luck with it. Brooks is way
No,
better
not
than
lately.
Zach.
What's that?
Brooks is way better.
No,
than
she loves doing that stuff.
Yeah.
She has 85%.
This year, next year, 10 years.
85% what?
Sure, she do something small, then have like a bigger party.
If I got married again.
She worked so hard the last time we did the database competitions.
Yeah, but.
Should we just put up a team that kind of like,
Yeah.
let's do this.
think.
We won't take up seats, but.
Obviously.
We're good.
Bye, guys. See ya.
See ya.
See ya. Okay,
Zach Hitch.
I got a listing
Don't care.
that's garbage
Oh, I
and
love
it's
it.
in Detroit.
Oh.
Can I take a good picture with my phone or should I take a camera? I'm only gonna take like 1 picture outside and like 3 inside. It's a disaster. Just use the phone, got the phone.
Yeah, for, should hold a couple pictures. And